Moving on to some of the key features of LangGraph. Four features I would like to talk about here: built-in persistence, human in the loop, time travel, and streaming. Let's start with persistence in build. You don't have to work around while building these AI models, right? You don't have to work around the memory management and memory systems, right? You don't need to do that. These models automatically sort of remembers the thread, remembers the state of your execution. Human in the loop actually focuses about how you can provide at a runtime in dynamic execution, how you can provide user input, right? You can tell the graph that please draft an SQL query, but pause and wait for my input, right, before start executing these into production environment, right? I mean, so these sort of human input you can provide on the go, basically. Time travel focuses on you to sort of allow you to rewind the graph and really look at each of stages of the graph and see what really went about, right? And if anything is wrong, fix a bad prompt, go back and resume the execution again. At last, trimming, it's more of a logging or auditing process, right? Where you can look at each stage of a graph and finally stream the state into real time so that users are not just staring at your loading spinner, they can actually see what exactly the AI is executing at various node and edges. Okay, so these are the key features you can leverage as you start building the business analytics chatbots. Okay, so let's talk about a quick scenario and how you can go about building those business analytics chatbot. In this slide, right, we're focusing on, say, writing a user query. The another node will focus on routing that query to a node which can execute the query. There will be a node which will execute a query, format the results, and deliver the insights back to the user, right? So let's look at how this actually works in practice. Imagine a user asking, okay, why did our Q3 revenue drop in EMEA regions, right? A standard LLM can't answer that, but a LangGraph chatbot takes that user input, right, converts it into an SQL query, route this query to execution node, right? That execution node can then write sort of execute that query on your backend database, gives back the results to a node which can format the result in the required format and then deliver the insight into results back to the user, right? Now, while formatting this result, while drafting that query, while executing these queries, right, you can use the LLMs to sort of make sure that your execution is at par at all that time. So this is a very high exploration of how you can go about executing these type of projects. Like I mentioned at the start of this call, in probably in coming sessions, right, we can deep a lot more into technical details and start looking at the demos as well. Okay. Let's talk about the infrastructure and deployment considerations. So there are two ways to really go about this, right? If you're sort of working on an in-house, really not much of a production environment, then you can go and run this as your self-hosting LangGraph and using fast APIs as well, right? Or you can use these managed solutions like LangGraph Cloud to sort of host these solutions, right, and go about this. Since LangGraph is a stateful, right, you need a robust backend Postgres to store these conversational thread. Um, One second. Uh, yeah. So another factor is latency. Multiple steps reasoning takes time, right? We need to mitigate this by parallelizing the nodes when executing these threads. And at the end, right, you need some sort of observability also to make sure that tools are Tools like Langsmith are essential here, and you need to be able to look under the hood and see what's really going on at this point in time. So key, just to summarize on infrastructure and deployment consideration, you need to work on the on the scalability part. You need to have the latency management and observability platform to look into your execution and see how it is going about. At last, I would like to sort of quickly talk about the security and compliance bit. You want to make sure that the data privacy is sort of inbuilt in your models. You don't want to use your in-house data to sort of train the public models, right? So those sort of inbuilt features are already available in the land graph. The next is you want to implement the role-based access control, right? Based on who is interacting with your bot, you want to make sure that you're providing the appropriate data to the person or the persona who is integrating with your land graph, right? The next bit is the guardrails. You want to have the guardrails inbuilt in the nodes to sanitize the inputs and outputs being shared with the users. And at last, the auditability, which is critical for a stateful implementation anyway, because you want to make sure that there are enough audit logs available for you to see how your LLM is performing and whether each stage and each node is executing as what it should be. So with this, I sort of conclude. Thank you for your time. If there are any questions, I can take those questions. Thank you.
Very good. Great presentation. We did have one thing come in from LinkedIn, but it was probably from the last presentation. Any questions for Kapil?
Great presentation, Kapil.
Thank you.
So this was probably for you, Ajit. I'll just put it up on the screen there.
Yeah.
Saying safety is no longer production, it has become a living system.
Right.
I presume that's got to do with your
Yes.
presentation.
Right. It's like a continuous improvement, like whatever issues we see in the field also nowadays, we can like have a fix, come up with a solution for that and release it to millions of vehicles.
Very good. How you doing, Dan?
Great. How are you, Frank?
Good.
Sorry,
So we had a couple of new speakers again this week.
awesome.
Have you any news for us? How's the book?
The book's doing well. We're getting ready to advertise that at MVP Summit. So I've got my MVP paddle and my stickers ready to go for the MVP Summit next week. And we're going to do some pickle.
You're going to the summit?
Yep. So we're going to play some pickleball while I'm out there.
Very good. So are you going to the full MVP Summit?
Yeah, so I arrive Sunday. There's some pre-activities that I'm involved with. And then Tuesday through Thursday, and I'll be there through the weekend, and Monday. Monday I'll be working, but then also seeing if I can get anybody from AWS to give me a tour of their office. I became an AWS community hero in March. So this is my second month. I've started getting in touch with local user groups and supporting their tech as well.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, it looked like a full show again, but I wanted to join and connect it up to my LinkedIn and my YouTube. We'll see if we can bring in some more comments and viewership.
Yeah, very good. So the flights then look very. The queues are long. You have to go early to the airport.
I've heard the queues are long, so I will arrive at the airport early Sunday for a early flight. But I'm hoping the earlier the flight, the less queues or issues I have going through the airport. Sometimes when you get into the midday flights, there's more opportunity for them to get backed up or understaffed or whatever. But usually first thing in the morning, it hasn't been too bad.
Yeah.
Assuming there's enough workers to get us through security and get us to our gates and all that type of thing. But that's my reminder. I can check into my flight, so I'll have to do that.
Very good, very good. Yeah, so we had one speaker that couldn't make it, but we got the hour filled up anyway. And,
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's great.
So I see Charity is going to do some talk as well.
Yeah, she's going to Dynamics Con in May, I want to say, in Las Vegas. So she got a speech accepted or a session accepted for Dynamics Con, and we'll be there for, I think it's 3 days, 2 or 3 days.
And what sort of talk is she doing? Is it a Microsoft thing or?
Let me see if I can pull it up here real quick. I'd say it leans into both AI as well as Microsoft and just like business psychology, that kind of thing. Dynamics 365. So let me bring it up here. Let's see if I can share my screen real quick. Let's just do entire screen to make it easy.
There you go. Yeah.
Driven customer experience, personalization at scale with Dynamics 365. So she has a lot of process management, change management, consultant, business ops, lots of different experiences in her background, and is leaning in with Dynamics Con with this first presentation. So
yeah, the Dynamics 365 is very big.
Yeah, we've been talking about different areas that either, my understanding is Microsoft is still looking for Microsoft certified trainers in Dynamics because there aren't enough people that are doing training in the products for people that are using them. That's an opportunity for people. I don't think that's changed. I haven't heard the latest from the MCT program, but in the past, there were a number of companies looking for certified Dynamics 365 trainers. And then I'm sure there's other opportunities that you'll hear about, either for speaking at other events or getting involved with Dynamics and the user group community. Last year was in Chicago, so we both made short appearances last year in Chicago, and this year she submitted to speak. So I guess we're both Dynamics Con alumni or something.
Very good. I'm just going to end the live stream, so Dan,
Okay.
we're up on the hour. So thanks everyone for joining the Azure and AI show. We'll be back again next week at the same time. And thanks very much.
Take care.